It is a suspicion, Teela. And to send an entire division across the sea because of a suspicion is madness.
We need to find out who sent the mercenaries. This Pegast said that they were after the Signet Stone, and if they succeed in getting hold of it next time, then the Black Guardian alone knows how to stop the cycle.
The cycle? Listening to you talk almost makes me forget that all this fuss here is merely based on some bad dreams you and your Neremese friends had.
The threat is real. Deny it as much as you like, but deep inside, you feel it as much as I do.
Teela, you're a commander, and a commander doesn't care about feelings, but about facts. You have made this mistake before, Teela, back then in Kira, and we all know...
The mission will happen. I'm sorry.
You have a visitor.
Yes, it is me. Lord Patterson.
So,
hi.
you are the prodigy everyone is talking about. Interesting. I am Teela Aranthia, son of Lorius I and Grandmaster of the Order, and I'm honored to meet you. What is your name?
My name is Lord Pa II.
Yes, and I will come straight to the point. You are here because I believe that you are special. Humanity faces a threat that needs to be stopped, and to achieve this, you are indispensable.
You're talking about the Red Menace, aren't you?
Among other things, yes. I do not need to explain to you that the present situation on Vin is chaotic. The wars, the living dead, common people who are losing their minds, to name only the most obvious. What most people are not aware of is the connection between these events. You, however, have encountered it, as have I.
The visions. So you know where they came from?
I do. And I will explain everything to you. What it means, who we are, and what your part in all of this is. Come, follow me. Maybe you already know who I am. My entire life, I served the gods who ruled Vin, until their death 2 years ago. What you probably do not know is that the one responsible for their death is my son, Narazul Aranthial. He hated the Lightborn because he believed that they robbed mankind of their right to freedom, so he strived to overthrow them. He found followers, formed an army and declared war on them, and thus on me, a servant of the Lightborn as well.
Of course. Hey, where'd you go, Tilo? Oh, there you are. Come back. I love you. In a platonic way.
It all ended in a battle 30 years ago, which Narazul won. He killed every single survivor except for me, and locked me in a dungeon on Nerim. I still do not know why he spared me.
Right, so I'm probably not going to bother with too much side dialogue. Probably like carry on with the quest line as is.
Yes, after more than 30 years, when the death of the gods made the magic around the prison disappear. And during my escape in the northern mountains of Nerim, I also had them for the first time. The dreams.
Ah, yes. I too have those dreams. Oh, your hair disappeared, buddy.
I always saw the same glaring, terrible light. Heard screaming, and I felt like I was burning up from the inside. And above all, like a veil, there was the knowledge of imminence. At first, of course, I dismissed these dreams as the delusion of a man close to death. So I concentrated on making it through the mountains somehow. 2 days after my escape, I was completely exhausted, and I would have died if a former acolyte of my son had not found me.
Acolyte of your son? But weren't they your enemies?
Yes, but he did not recognize me, and brought me to their headquarters instead, an old monastery in the mountains. The others were aware of my identity, but for whatever reason they did not kill me. Maybe because they thought that the death of the Lightborn had made me insignificant. do not know. Still, even after my recovery, the dreams continued. At first, I doubted my sanity, but after some time I told the leader of the mages, Constantine, about them. And he said something that I'd never expected. I was not alone. He, as well as many others, magically gifted on Vin same dreams. And the more we talked about the matter, the stronger our suspicion grew, which has now turned out to be the truth.
Wait up, Tilo. I can't walk as fast as you for some reason. It's really annoying. I run too fast and walk too slow. You know how it feels not to fit in? I suppose you do, because you kind of lost your order at some point and got imprisoned by your own son. Still, this is much worse. Much, much worse.
The dreams, they come from the same place. They are a shared memory.
A shared memory? You mean the dreams originate from, what? A common mind?
The collective subconscious, yes. I know that you can feel it too, and probably far more intense than we do. But like you back then, we were not able to make sense of the images. So we went looking for answers in the remains of the civilization that was before us, the Pyreans.
Thus the excavations, like in old Russian Guard. What did you find out?
3 things. First, there were many civilizations before us and before the Pyreans. Maybe hundreds, maybe thousands. Second, the history of each civilization unfolded and still unfolds according to a pattern. They emerge, they blossom, and at some point, at the apex of their existence, they simply disappear without any trace. And third, everything that has happened in the past years, and which is still happening, indicates that this disappearance lies ahead of us. We are part of an eternal loop, a cycle, and our cycle is approaching its end.
Ooh. Hundreds of prophets predicted the end of the world, and it never happened.
I see why you would say that, and I've felt the same way for a very long time too. But there came a moment when we simply could not deny it anymore. We began to study the history of the Pyreans more intensely, and the parallels were extraordinary. In its early days, the Pyrean Empire was split up by a disaster, just like Vin was split up by the Starfall after the reign of the Eterna. Also, the Pyreans had a ruling caste who declared themselves gods after the catastrophe. The 2 castes of the Sun Priest. They too ruled until they were overthrown. This overthrowing was followed by an outbreak of wars and chaos. And then, just like that, the Pyreans ceased to exist. They knew it was imminent, but they could not prevent it. They called this event the Cleansing.
And when do I come in? Where do these visions and my powers come from?
Well, this is the reason why we need your help. Not only episodes of history recur within every cycle, characters do as well.
Characters reoccur?
Yes, the Pyreans call them the emissaries. They emerge very shortly before the cleansing occurs, like a law of nature, an answer to the Red Madness. And I am one of them, as are you. While I take on the role of the ruler, you take on the role of the prophet.
I'm supposed to be a prophet.
It's just a description. Call it what you will. But without doubt, it is the truth. Your story matches the descriptions perfectly.
And what defines this prophet?
On the one hand, your power. You carry the potential to master any skill within a fraction of the usual time needed. I assume you have already realized this.
Oh yeah.
On the other hand, your ability to look into the past, and therefore into the future.
What do you mean by that?
Your visions are a window into the past. And as every cycle is based on the same events, it is a window into the future as well. You can feel the thread this world is woven with. And because of that, you can see things that have happened, and thus will happen again. This gift makes you indispensable to us, and it is why I want your help.
Alright, if I can help, I'll try to do so.
Good. However, there's one more thing before the actual work begins. I want you to join our order, and to do so, you have to pass a test. A trial.
What kind of test we're talking about?
It is the trial the novices have to pass in order to be exalted to the role of a keeper. Only the best students of the Squalor are allowed admission, and even though you have not been a novice, I want you to take it too. At this very moment, 2 novices are on their way to the testing grounds. I have informed them about your arrival.
Yeah, I'm curious, who are these 2 novices?
I have only a slight acquaintance with them. However, I know that they are both very talented and have been working hard toward the test. But see them for yourself.
You've already informed them, huh? How could you not agree?
I had a hunch. Let us leave it at that.
Of course. Very well then. Where can I find them?
At the border to the Heartland, near the Whisper Wood. They will be waiting for you there. Take the Myret, talk to Signet Master Bartar, and hand him this package. And then follow his orders. Ah, one more thing. It might be self-evident, but keep your knowledge about the death of the Lightborn to yourself. I do not believe you can do any real harm, but in the worst case, path-abiding people will consider you a heretic. After the cycle has been stopped, we will deliberate upon how we deal with the matter, if and how we tell our people about it. But not now, that is for sure. Now, leave. The sooner we can dispense with this formality, the better.
Screw you too, Theodore. God damn it. Tilo Aranthiel? That's right. Screw you, too. Thought maybe you weren't that bad. I was willing to give you a chance, but now... I don't know. It's getting on thin ice, buddy. It's getting on very, very thin ice. But we're not going to do that just yet. What I wanted to do is... a foot in the door. I wanted to continue this little quest line here. Deliver the packet to Algis Goodwill to the grain farm at the Farmer's Coast. And then we can hopefully continue with that little quest line and get into the beauty that is the Golden Compass, is it called? I forget. Or the Golden Sickle? Probably the Golden Sickle. Well, before we do that, I'm just going to go quickly grind out some alchemical ingredients so I can make some potions to sell to make some money. Because I believe... Oh, yeah, we've got 1,300 pennies. I forgot that I lost some data, so I had to revert back. Good times.
Always talking.
Johnny found out what Goon said when she followed him into the Fat Leorin's Inn at night, where he had rented a room. Not suspecting a thing, that poor woman entered her husband's room only to find him copulating with 2 whores, 1 goat, and a stable boy. And now brace yourself. He was dressed up as a priest.
By the 7! This is scandalous! How? Who told you this?
The miller's wife. She knows someone who knows someone whose 5th cousin worked at the inn that night.
Huh. Well, if she said it, it must be true. Sad to see what men have become these days. On the surface, they pray each day, do their work, and honor the righteous path. But if you look away for just 1 second, things go down like in a Koranian brothel.
My words exactly. Sad times we live in. Sad times. But what can a simple woman do? Nothing. Anyway, I have to get going. Good to see you. You should come by for a cup of tea someday.
I will. God bless.
Glorious as, after decades of imprisonment by his treacherous son, returned to his position as Grand Master of the Holy Order.
Well done, Tilo.
The esteemed
Right, so that was a somewhat okay expedition. I think when we left off, we started off with like 1,200 pennies. Now we got 1,100. Very good, huh? No. I went and chucked some 1,000 gold in the bank, so we essentially made 1,000 gold. So considering the price of books and whatnot, it's probably not very good. So this is interesting. Yes.
You're an adventurer.
Yes, that's me. All right, back to our quest at hand.
Cherish, oh brothers and sisters.
Alright, I think we're nearing our destination. What in the world is that an apple? It is an apple. What the hell's it doing on the floor there? Hey apple, what you doing? Sorry Kim. Oh, speaking of Kim, how crazy was that arcane fever when she dies? Oof. That's insane amount of arcane fever, so you gotta be very careful when she's around. Well, he's around. Kim can, I suppose, be female and male.
Hi, Morg. Any luck with the vermin?
Don't remind me. The other day, some dimwit traveler came by and told me he'd be able to deal with the rats by stuffing their holes with stones. Nonsense, of course. 3 days later, those bloody beasts were back through new holes.
Surprise, surprise. I hope you didn't pay him.
Well, it was very convincing.
Ugh, you can't be serious.
Blazes, I was desperate. I tried everything. Poisons, traps, even some magical potion from that Chilean merchant in Ark. Nothing works.
Did you just say magical potion?
Aye, some magical Kiranian concoction. They used it to get rid of all kinds of vermin over there. And he brewed it in cooperation with the Order's alchemists.
Did he know?
What do you mean?
Oh, just that I've heard stories. Word has it that he sold Rorik his own piss as a remedy for his headaches. Anyway, we need to do something. I'll talk to the sickle tomorrow. Maybe they can send someone to take care of it.
Well, someone's optimistic. They haven't even answered my request from last year yet.
Well, it doesn't hurt to try, does it? Walk blessed, Morik. I have an errand to run. Rats, bugs, spiders.
Hey, buddy. Heard you had a rat
Traveling
problem.
around, huh? You should stop by the Red Ox. Great music, good food, and lots of apple cider.
Ooh, thanks for the advice.
As if a bloody leech would ever be content.
What leech? Curious to kind of follow him for a little bit to see what he does. But I go bored.
Chickens.
Oh, chickens?
Got to feed the chickens.
Yeah, before the rats get to them, hey? Alright. Where's our friend? Oh, it's you. Very good. Hey, L, just goodwill. I have some papers.
Ah, excellent. Many thanks, monsieur.
You're welcome. Thanks for helping me out. How's it going?
Coming from Ark, aren't you?
Yeah.
I can tell. You got that city smell about. No offense.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I smell like the city to you. Men hör us? He doesn't want to talk. How about you, Kim? Oh, yes. Still don't know why these things don't really load properly. Weird. Also, another thing I was looking into is, well, stumbled across, is that supposedly, it's a bug when you go into werewolf form and your amulet de-equips, de-summoning your, phantasmal dude. Which is kind of scary, because there's actually I forget what they're called, but those dual, skills where you can actually get some passive bonuses when you go to, like, deep into the skill trees. And one of them is for, like, werewolf and phasmalist. Which seems like a quite kind of interesting build to me, but I think it might be my third one. Because looking into it as well, we can get some good things happening with Kim and just the normal, like, sort of close combat tree. I forget what it's called. Yeah, good. Do you have any tips?
Tips. Just be wary if you're outside city walls. I guess you've noticed as much already, but this country has seen better days.
Yeah, fair enough.
Farewell.
Oh, I gotta love it when you talk to people and dodgy things happen in the middle of conversations. What can we make? A roasted salmon? That sounds pretty good. I need some more food on me. Ate a fair bit of it when I was out adventuring. Alright, so back to Ark to turn in our quest. And would you look at that? Oh! Hi, how you doing? I was not expecting there to be something in this water. Kim! There's something in the water! I can't do anything about it! Ah, you're in my realm now. You know, I'm not the most observant of people, but I just noticed then that Ark actually looks kind of like a boat. And I was, well, a ship should I say, but I'm gonna guess that it's also based on some of the Star People designs, I think they're called. Most likely it's a crashed starship. And people just sort of made it their own. It's empty. Maybe I might have already looted that chest. It's certainly a possibility. Ooh, there we go. Didn't loot it. And there's a fishy. Oh gods. Don't nibble me giblets. What are you doing, Kim? Are you bobbing for apples? I'll leave you to it. Damn, that sun. Very pretty.
Tender friends of the granulous pleasance, melt away in rapture as a crunchy loaf of bread wanders from my hands into yours.
Oh. What was that about bread? Oh, hi. How's it going?
You there! You look as if you could do with a fine loaf of our unrivaled fresh and tasty bread. I can see it in your eyes.
You got pretty good vision then, because I'm pretty sure my eyes are very well covered, but what makes the bread so unraveled, fresh and tasty?
Well, it is fresh and it is tasty. What are you getting at?
I love that. So what makes this bread so fresh and tasty? Well, you see, it's fresh and tasty. Does that answer your question? So what makes it fresh and tasty?
Well, it is fresh and it is tasty. What are you getting at?
But what makes it fresh and tasty? Do you sort of put it out to the sun to bake for 5 days? Or do you put it in the oven? What do you do with it? What's the ingredients that go into it? What kind of wheat do you use? Does the wheat sit somewhere for a while? Who knows?
Certainly. A pleasure for the young and the old, for the tall and the small. See for yourself.
I love how you're trying to oversell this thing. I'm gonna buy a pretzel off you because I really want a pretzel now. But I won't eat it just yet because I'm I'm satiated for another 8 minutes. 8 and 6, but you know, I overate a bit, got a bit fat. Alright, Golden Sickle, where are you? I'm getting so distracted. Home to friends and family alike. Always a friend that we meant to talk to. I think it was one of you.
Move along.
Silda?
Huh?
Okay, not Silda. Is it Doria? Yeah, is this your necklace?
Show me. Well, I'll be damned. You found it. Where was it?
Ah, it was up on the beams on a barrel.
Aha. However it got there. Anyway, thanks a bunch. Nonetheless, will only hear the best from me.
Thanks, Doria. Oh, the Warmack will probably have to steal it? Dang, what's down here? Ooh. Ooh. The crypt. Ooh. Okay. Right, is that all we need to do? Tell Goon I delivered the packet. Who's Goon? Your penny pockets.
Why is that stuff so expensive?
Yeah. Deal Rogish. Hang on. Here a dude smacking things. There. Goon. Elders Goodwill got your papers. Do I have your recommendation?
Yes, you do. Thanks for helping.
Cool. Hey, buddy.
Yes?
What do you sell?
Well, a bit of everything. Just look for yourself.
Alright. So armor-wise, diddly. Soul trapping stuff wouldn't be too bad. I wouldn't mind dabbling in the enchanting arts, but I'm just not sure if it's a worthwhile investment just yet. Heck, I have no idea what the hell I want to do still. I think I'll still go down the melee build, of course, but other than that, and also making Kim amazing. But I do kind of miss the magic stuff too. Oh well. So what exactly is... I think we've already asked these things, so I've handed the letter in. Do I have your recommendation?
Let's see. Doria said you're honest and not afraid to get your hands dirty. Yeah, that means something. Well, Gunham said you're all right. I suppose that's as much of a compliment as you can get from him. Old Rogosh said you'd be better off in the bash hole. No recommendation from him.
Ouch.
Well, that's 2 voices against 1. Not a stellar result, but a good one. You seem to be reliable, and we always have use for reliable people. And don't get me wrong, I know you're not here out of neighborly love, but to make money. But still, we can use you. You can start as soon as you want to.
Sweet! Got a foot in the door. It's a long way to the top. So I remember now?
Why, of course. Tomorrow you can move into the guild's house and Mal Doloran will come to wash your feet.
Ooh.
I like you, you know that?
Thanks.
You're still so green and honest. That's a rare sight in this trade.
Oh, penny pouches. Alright, so I have to be a merchant to become a real member of the guild.
If you're after the badge, yes. But you don't seem like the merchant type to me. But that's not a problem, however. With the right attitude, maybe you could reach the rank of vassal, or even protector. But that's a long way up.
If you want to rock and roll. What is it that a vassal does exactly, or a protector?
Guard the holy dealings of the sickle, of course.
Yeah,
Only a fool would send a caravan through the powder desert without a proper escort. And reliable mercenaries are as rare as a talking Leorin. But that's what vassals and protectors are for. But let's not get carried away, shall we? If you're really planning to get hired as a vassal, you'll need to do more than run a few errands.
I'm ready. What can I do?
Well, aren't you eager? But it's your lucky day. There is something. But be warned, you'll have to earn your money this time.
Oh, that's what I'm here for. What do you need?
Well, that'll need a bit of explaining first. As you may already know, a good merchant doesn't depend only on himself, but also on his suppliers. With the best skinner's nothing without fur. The best baker's nothing without flour. And that is the problem. Helga Hafner is a farmer who's been producing grain for the sickle for 10 years now. Since 2 moons ago, however, his fields lie fallow.
Hey Google, define fallow.
Here's the definition of fallow. Of farmland ploughed and harrowed but left for a period without being sown in order to restore its fertility or to avoid surplus production.
No, okay. And you want me to find the reason for this, right?
Right. But I need someone who can do it discreetly, which makes you the perfect fit for this task. Hafner doesn't know you, and he must not find out that we sent you.
Oh. What? Why?
Because we suspect that his fields will stay barren permanently, whatever's causing it. He denies it, but we have to know. And that is your job. Handle it properly, and it won't be to your disadvantage.
So what if his fields stay barren? What will you do?
Kill the contract, of course. A farmer who doesn't deliver is of no worth to us.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It does, unfortunately.
Alright, I'll find out what's causing his barrenness.
That's what I wanted to hear. Do you have a map?
Yeah.
Here, that's where you'll find his farm. And again, stay low.
Oh man. Poor Hafner. I called him barren. Right, so, cool. Where is that? Oh my lord. Oh, hang on. Oh, there it is. It's exactly... Oh, it's in the Farmer's Coast, of course. Yeah, you'd expect it to be on the Farmer's Coast, wouldn't you?